What's up? What's up? What's up? My Mind Your Money business folks. It's me yet again with another video in today's stock market news. And as always, hopefully you are in the market and not trying to time the market because that is simply impossible to do. And as always, hopefully you're not straddling the fence and you're actually investing into something, into these appreciating paper assets that I call stocks, and you're enjoying the ride. Even though the market's not doing that well today. Right? So let's see what happened in the market. What are the headlines saying? It says Dow slides, S&P 500 and NASDAQ retreat from record high rally. So U.S. stocks retreated Thursday as investors paused to assess the optimism around AI and interest rate cuts that buoyed markets amid the government shutdown. The S&P 500 lost around 0.5% after another record close for the broad benchmark on Wednesday as Wall Street returned to rally mode. The NASDAQ traded about 0.5% lower. The Dow fell 0.6%. Hey, that stock market is up today, down tomorrow. Meanwhile, the torrid rally in gold took a pause and signs of profit taking, lasting around below 4,000 per troy ounce. Never knew there was such a thing. So the mood is muted as the ongoing federal shutdown puts paid to scheduled data releases, including the jobless claims update due Thursday. That has put the focus more firmly on coming earnings, watched for insights into the economy's health and to test high running hopes for an AI boom. Yeah, so it's like nobody's really going to know what to do. Like, how should you invest your money if these reports aren't coming out? What I plan to do is continue to do what I've been doing, dollar cost average into the stock market, even though I'm not being paid as a federal employee. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, I saw my paycheck of what I'm going to be paid, and it sucked. Because starting October 1st, they stopped our pay. And yeah, it was a lot less than what I'm used to getting, but I reassured myself, and of course I don't like it, even though I still have to go to work and not be paid. I told myself, it's a good thing that you're out of debt. It's a good thing that you have an emergency fund. So I'm not in a bad place. The situation is not great, but because my foundation and the plan that I have in place is solid, I can ride this wave. So hopefully they will come to some agreement and we can get things back up and running again. Anyways, PepsiCo eked out quarterly profit and revenue beats, ushering in the third quarter earnings session, which kicks off in earnest with big bank reports next week. Delta Airlines results also surpassed expectations, helping the carrier lead other airline stocks higher. Investors will also listen out for what Chair Jerome Powell has to say at the Federal Reserve Bank Conference later, after minutes from the Fed's September policy meeting out Wednesday boosted spirits. The minutes confirmed that most officials agree that at least 2 more rate cuts are likely this year, which is a good thing. And that's pretty much it. Short and sweet, not a whole hell of a lot today. And there's a lot of red in the market today, but I still made money. A lot of my stocks did not. As I read, the market took a turn today. They fell, but not everything falls, and that's the thing you learn about investing. Some things may not do well while others are or did do well. So that's why you must have a diversified portfolio. So yeah, NVIDIA actually is at its highest. It gained $3.39 today, closing out at $192.50. Nvidia is now worth $4.687 trillion. Can you imagine? Yeah, I can actually imagine. Yeah, that's a lot of money. A whole lot of money. Even Palantir did okay today. It gained $1.80 today, closing out at $185.36. Who else? Tesla didn't do well. I mean, they lost a little money. They lost $3.56 today, closing out at $435.13. Broadcom lost 85 cents today, closing out at $344.65. FTEC, Information Technology ETF, lost 21 cents today. Not bad. Closing out at $228.57. SPLG, the S&P 500 ETF, lost 28 cents today, closing out at $79.90. Meta gained $15.54 today, closing out at $733.38. Yeah, so yeah. And I would say because of Nvidia and Palantir, my portfolio is in the green. I made some money today, which is a good thing, right? So as always, people, you need to be investing into appreciating assets. That's the way the world is set up. That's the world we live in. And you must take advantage of it while you can. You know, let me go back to this article, right? Because it mentioned something. It says stocks retreated Thursday as investors paused to assess the optimism around AI and interest rates. But AI, artificial intelligence, is a technology. If you're not looking into it, you need to. They're calling this the next revolution of things, of the way that we do business, the way that we see things, the way that we are going to experience things. Like I said, you know, we're only touching it right now, just a small amount of it. Again, you have self-checkouts. Most people order things online. You have drones delivering things. You can order something on Amazon and receive it that same day. You can go into some Burger Kings and you can go to a kiosk or McDonald's and you order at the kiosk and then you go to the counter to pick up your food. I remember, you know, many years ago, you couldn't pay with a credit card at the gas pump. Anyway, but that's been around for a while. But technology, if you haven't looked into it, this artificial intelligence is going to disrupt our current way of doing things, which isn't a bad thing. It's just something that's inevitable. There's always been something created that disrupted the current environment. Like I said, we went from walking to riding horses, to riding trains, to driving cars, to flying in airplanes. You know, from you know, breaking ice from a frozen lake and delivering to people and them keeping it in a box to keep food cold, to the invention of a refrigerator and freezer where it's frozen all the time. So those type of things take businesses out. Again, I talked about before Blockbuster, how Netflix took Blockbuster out of business, where no longer had to go into a store to rent a movie. They can do it. You can watch movies now online. So yeah, this AI boom is something serious, and we're pretty much still at the beginning stages of it. So you need to be getting on board with it, start learning it. I'm messing around with ChatGPT now every day. I'm having conversations with ChatGPT. You can actually tell ChatGPT things about yourself and ask it for advice. It's the most interesting thing ever. And it has had me glued to it For I even have to take breaks. I'm like, okay, I've been reading too much. But you can ask it all types of questions. It's all about how you ask it, how you prompt the question, and you will get an answer. And it would offer you even more detailed information. You have to understand there's so much information that's being plugged into ChatGPT. You no longer have to read encyclopedias. The encyclopedias are programmed within ChatGPT. All these books are programmed into ChatGPT. So anyway, yeah, the world is changing. So either you're changing along with it, you're evolving, or you're going to be left behind trying to figure out what happened and what you need to do. And by that time, it may be too late for some people and some things in certain situations. Well, actually, it's never too late. But in my mind and in my opinion, I would rather have things easier than to experience hardship if I can avoid it, right? So as a thinking adult, I'm thinking ahead on how to make things easier for myself, like getting out of debt. Like most of you need to get out of debt in order to invest into these appreciating assets that I talk about on a daily basis. And the only way that you can get out of debt is by creating a plan, and that plan is called a budget. And I know that I talk about this with ease. I talk about how I, am out of debt, how I have an emergency fund, how I'm okay even though I'm not being paid as a federal employee because of the government shutdown. It sounds good, and a lot of you are saying, well, that's good for you, but I came from nothing. Zero, nothing. I am one of 7 children who was raised by a single mother in the South. We had nothing, but I always wanted more. And I had to figure out how to get more. And I took advantage of opportunities. I joined the military. I didn't like it all the time because you're dealing with people. And then some of the things I would have to do. I went to Afghanistan. I used to stress, just thinking about it, just look, I don't even want to talk about it. Anyways, but I stuck it out. And that's what you have to do. You have to stick things out. You have to see them through, even when you don't like it. And that's what I did. And then I came out on the other end. I retired. Yes, I retired from the military. Right? And, I did 23 years in the military. Yeah, long time. I was able to put my daughter through college. I gave her because I got my degrees in the military, I gave her my college benefits, which allowed her to go to college for free. She obtained her PhD for free. Now, my college benefits didn't cover the whole thing, but in order for her to get her PhD, I told her she needs to figure out a way to have someone else pay for it, and she did just that. So you can do the same. Either way, I just said all that to say this. You don't have to have a lot. You don't have to come from anything, because I am a prime example of that. So if I can do it, you can do it. And I'm not the smartest person in the bunch, but I'm not stupid either. I do have some smarts, but I'm not the smartest. And I realize things that can help me, and I take advantage of them most of the time, not all the time, to help me get ahead. And I root for myself. I've written awards for myself, and I have received them. I've gotten pay advances. I've gotten bonuses, because you have to look out for you. You do. You have to look out for you always. Anyways, I'm on a soapbox, but you need to create a plan. You need to get on a budget. You need to start telling your money where to go so you can stop trying to figure out where it all went before the end of the month. You need a budget, people. You need a budget. Because I'm actually thinking about starting another YouTube channel, but I don't know yet. But get out of debt, people. Get out of the credit card debt. Get out of the personal loan debt. Get out of the car loan debt. Get out of the student loan debt. You're in it, so get out of it. I know it's hard, but get out of it. You need to create a plan. That's the only way that you can get out of it, is by creating a plan. And that's what I liked about being in the military, is that we had plans. You had to follow the orders that you were given. So it made me a very disciplined person. Like, I still get up every day and I make up my bed. I cannot leave my home without making up my bed. I make sure things are nice and neat in my kitchen. I make my lunch every day. It's cleaned before I leave. Either way, that's just the discipline part of me. Not everyone has to be that way. But I learned a lot. I learned structure in the military. I learned a lot. But it was 23 years. So that's why I now can boast about what I do, is because I put in the work. I sacrificed a lot. I sacrificed a lot of time away from my family. I dedicated 23 years to something. And yeah, here I am. So I'm going to end this video. So like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Let me know what you think. If you think anything at all. Oh, disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. So any and all information on my channel is for entertainment purposes only. So please consult with a financial advisor before you invest any of your hard-earned money. All right, so you guys take care. Have a blessed day. Peace.